Traders, today we're going to focus on a couple of safe haven currencies. We're going to focus on Swiss franc and Japanese yen, and we're going to look at them in detail. Welcome to Simply Forex, guys. If you want to improve as a trader, then you're definitely in the right place. Each week, I'm going to give you easy to follow trade ideas, tips, advice, so that you too can succeed in the markets. And if you stay till the end of the vid, I'm going to give you all of my trade ideas for today as well. So stay tuned for that. Merci beaucoup. And if you like what you hear, guys, then please subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button as well. So my actual trade ideas today are Swiss franc pairs, right? And we'll look at those a little bit later, and I'll give you my trade ideas. But what we're going to focus on to start with is the yen pairs, okay? And the yen pairs in general, because if you look at any yen pair, right, this is just pound yen. Yeah, we can look at another example, right? This is clearly in a downtrend, like you just always plot structure that will tell you trend. And we are clearly in a downtrend, okay? So that would suggest we want to sell, right? And there's lots of yen strength in the market. We're still getting these bearish candles. This strength is still there. Now, if you look at any yen pair, I mean, let's take a look at, I don't know, CAD yen, right? They're all dropping, look at this strength in the yen as well. Again, this is the daily chart, okay? And it's just dropping, right? But if we look at the weekly chart, right, they're all at quite pivotal weekly levels. Now, if we just follow weekly structure, I would say we are still firmly in an uptrend. And this level here is a pivotal level. And that's where price is at. Okay. Now, if this candle holds, right, and doesn't break this level, then I would, from a weekly point of view, actually be looking for buys back up into here. All right. And then let's take a look at the pound yen, as we was looking at that earlier as well. But let's take a look at this from a weekly point of view. Now, again, this is in a weekly uptrend, right? It just is. Okay, we're getting higher highs, well, is this the new higher low in here? But where we are at is an important piece of support. It was resistance, right? Resistance, and now could it become support in here as well? So if you look back at the daily chart, it's clearly broken this support level. This grey zone has been broken and price is, tumbling down. But I'm going to reserve judgment on this until that weekly candle finishes. So yen pairs may or may not be a trading opportunity next week. But, do I want to jump in on them this week? No. Okay, so let's see what that weekly candle does, and then we can make a decision on the yen pairs. And also worth pointing out is the monthly chart, right? This is firmly in an uptrend, and it's bounced off the moving average 20, which we know is really nice dynamic support in this case. So could price make it all the way back up to here? Again, you look at any let's look at a different one. Let's look at Swiss franc yen, right? You look at that monthly chart, and that is just, crying out for a buy, right? We've got a super bullish monthly candle. Could price come back up to here? So interestingly, at the end of this week will also be the end of the month. So this candle here will finish by tomorrow. So not only will we have some weekly information in terms of a candlestick, we'll also have a monthly candlestick piece of information as well, right? So yeah, let's wait till the end of the week for yen pairs. That's what I'm going to do, guys. However, the other currency pair in focus is Swiss franc yen, right? And we're seeing yen strength, but we're not seeing Swiss franc strength. In fact, I'm looking to capitalize on Swiss franc weakness. And if we start with Aussie dollar Swiss franc, guys, all right? Now, if we start with the weekly chart, there's this, there's this trend line going through here, right? You'll probably see it more clearly on the daily chart. But not only that, we are in an uptrend, right? We are, okay? We're getting higher highs, and obviously this trend line is representing higher lows. So we're in an uptrend, okay? Now, this weekly candle hasn't finished forming. We've still got a couple of days, but the previous week's candle was pretty bullish. Okay, so another reason to buy. And then if we drop down to the day chart, let's zoom out a bit so you can see that trend line a little bit more clearly, right? So price keeps respecting it. And at this level right now, not only have we got this horizontal support in here, this gray zone, right? But we've also got the trend line support as well, right? So this could be a really nice area to look, for potential buys all the way back up to here. And in fact, I would put my target in there. All right, so this is what we're looking at on the daily. And again, the daily is in an uptrend, right? If not a range, right? We're getting higher lows. We're not getting higher highs. So this would suggest we're in a bit of a range and we can take price back up to here. Okay, so there's our reasons to buy Aussie dollar Swiss franc. Now we need to look for an entry, guys, all right? So if we drop down to the H4, it's difficult to pinpoint where the last H4 high is, right? Is it in here, right? Is it up here? It's not very clean price action. Something like this is very definitive. It's very clear, right? If that breaks, we're off, right? But these levels in here are not definitive. They're a little bit hard to read. So H4 is tricky, right? But we could drop down to the H1 because we're getting this real bullish reaction from this level, okay? And if we look at the H1, we've clearly had a H1 structure break, right? Price came down, we hit this level, and bang. So I think Aussie dollar Swiss franc could be a really nice buying opportunity in here, right? To come higher. All right, so yeah, this would be a H1 entry because that H4 is tricky, guys. So yeah, there's the first trade idea. The next trade idea is Canadian dollar Swiss franc. And guys, before we look at this in detail, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button. Merci beaucoup. And if you haven't already, please come join our free Discord channel. So this is our trading community, guys. We've got traders in there. You can have a chit chat, share ideas, knowledge, have a laugh, send a meme, whatever you want to do in there, guys, right? Just no nudity.
Why not?
I'm only joking. We don't get any of that. Maybe the editor does, not sure. But guys, yeah, so join the community, guys, right? It's free. Just come in, verify yourself. Happy days. Right, Canadian dollar Swiss franc. Now, we know Canadian dollar has been volatile because of old Trumpy boy, right? And when he opens his mouth, unfortunately, sometimes the market can move against us quite quickly, right? I was caught out in a pound Canadian dollar trade early this week. So we must bear that in mind, okay? But structurally, and also the tariffs he's putting on Canada and Mexico is to do with border controls, right? It's more of a threat, right? It's sort of like sort out your borders and there will be no tariffs, right? So, it's not, will the market see through it is my point, okay? Now, from a technical point of view, we still really like this trade. If we look at the day chart, okay, we are clearly in an uptrend still, and these lows have held, right? So we have not had a structure break. We're getting higher lows, higher highs. We're in an uptrend. And just look at these wick rejections down here. I mean, this one's super strong, this one less so, but we're getting wick rejections at this level. And if you look at the weekly chart, right, guys, it's just a thing of beauty. Yeah, we was in this horrible little crappy range and then we broke it. So weekly suggests we can come all the way back up to here. And this would be my target up here. Now, daily weekly says we can. Let's find where we can take a trade on the H4. So, you know, with Aussie dollar, Swiss franc, I was saying, you know, the H4 level is difficult to find, right? It wasn't very definitive. This H4 level isn't, right? This is very definitive, yeah? That's the last H4 lower high, right? And we've stopped making lower lows. Now, if we get a break of this level, okay, on the H4, maybe a bit of a retrace, I think buying in here could be a really good trade for Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. All right, so yeah, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. I said it's all about Swiss franc weakness, and it is. And the last one, guys, US dollar, Swiss franc. I've actually been in and out of a hedge trade with this one, and this one has been a tricky little sausage. And tricky little sausage is a term that we use in economics. It's not. So yeah, US dollar, Swiss franc. All right. So again, if we look at let's start with the weekly chart, right? Christ, I've got far too many alarms in here. Let's remove some of my alarms, guys, right? Because these are actually, I'm going to keep them in. Otherwise, I'll have to draw them in again, right? So let's just get rid of this one. But if we look at the weekly chart, right, there was this level through here, that we was thinking potentially if we do get a reaction, it'll be from this level, right? But the weekly chart sailed through that area of resistance, okay? And that would suggest we can take price up to the next level of resistance on the weekly chart. And you can see this blue line is my higher time frame target as a result. So weekly looks good, right? It does. Maybe a little bit overextended, but still looking good. And then if we look at the day chart, we're still in an uptrend and price has retraced. In fact, we could put a level through here just to highlight this last daily low, right? Getting far too many gray zones on my chart. But if we just follow price action, right, we're in an uptrend. We are higher highs and these lows are holding. And this time at this low here, we've caught up nicely with the moving average 20, right? So this suggests this could be a really nice buying level. You know, if not back up to here, okay? Because one thing I'm always conscious of is a head and shoulders pattern. I probably don't mention this enough, but if we get a situation like this where price comes back to the last daily low, okay, because normally a trend looks like this, right? And it doesn't come back to the last daily low, okay? But this has. Now because of that, my target wouldn't be up here, right? Which would suggest back up to the last highs. My target would be up to here, right? And this 8,900 level. And why is that? Because this could potentially become, right, a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, there's your shoulder. I always find when I talk about a head and shoulders pattern, I don't talk about head and shoulder patterns for months and then they're like buses, right? And now I talk about them every 30 seconds. But I'm wary of that, guys. So that could potentially be our target in here. So we're at a nice level. This is a bearish candle, but we do have a bit of a wick, right? And then if we look at the H4, it's, you know, this doesn't allow us to trade this, right? H4 is telling us, okay, that we are in this downtrend, right? And you know, once price gets to here, we would suggest that is a good area for selling. And then we might have to wait for something like this on the H4, okay? And that could be days, right? So be it, right, on the H4. Now, I've done a bit more of an aggressive entry this morning, guys. So if we look at the H1, right, we can see we've had a little bit of a structure break. So price was coming down, okay, and then we've had a break. So we're now getting higher lows, higher highs, okay. Now price could come back down to this level here, all right, and that I'm already in this trade. I actually got in here. Christ, there's too many lines. I actually got in here, guys, but you know, and if price shoots off to my target, happy days. My first target will be the next piece of resistance, right? Logical. But price could come back down here first, right? And then come back up. All right. So yeah, US dollar, Swiss franc looking to trade from this level as well. So guys, that is my trade ideas for today. Please don't forget to join me for the live stream today. I know it's Thanksgiving and you're all going to be drunk, but not all of you celebrate today. So those of you that don't, come join us for the live stream, 7 a.m. New York EST. Get all your questions ready for me. And don't forget to join our trading community, the free Discord channel. And I'll see you later, guys.